More Texas nurses are expanding their portfolios, using their skills in nursing as a springboard. Nurse entrepreneurs, or nursepreneurs, are taking the initiative to fulfill unmet needs for patients and fellow nurses. We talked to Dr. Shante Harris, President and CEO of Eminent Healthcare Resources Consultants, and Jasmine Body, CEO of Navi Nurses, to get insight on their journeys to becoming nursepreneurs. Harris and Body explained what led them to starting their own businesses. For Harris, her company's inception has scholarly roots.
My business started off as a Master's of Business Administration project. So it was a school project. It was a capstone in 2006 that I never imagined would morph into the corporation that it is today. So yeah, it was a school project for me, just a regular capstone. And actually it was something that I thought that I could write about really easily, never ever wanting to implement that capstone project. Little did I know what was in store for me. When I finished the capstone project, it was over 2 years. It was, the entire time that I was working on my master's in business administration. I was already an in-hospital leader. And so I thought, well, let me just take a look at this. In 2006, I finished school in May and I implemented it in October. And so I was like, let's just get a feel for it, see if this thing is going to work. And so I took a $600 startup and turned it into what it is today.
For Body, her path to becoming a nurse and business owner started with her serving as a family caregiver.
My grandmother was diagnosed with recurrent head and neck cancer. So we took her home and cared for her. And it was during that time period that I realized that my calling was actually to become a nurse. I always knew intuitively I wanted to do something in healthcare. I just didn't know what that looked like. And then I became a nurse. And through that process, I realized that what I had experienced as a family caregiver was that insurance doesn't cover enough care for people, like, to actually get the outcomes they need, and I would have given anything to have extra support in caring for her. She had a trach and a peg and wounds and all of this stuff, and so not only did the experience inspire me to become a nurse, but it inspired me to build what we're building now, which is a way to fill in gaps for people when they don't have enough access to care that they really need.
Both nurses shared that the process of launching a business can be intimidating.
So really, there was no obstacle other than the fact that I was already an in-hospital leader and I was kind of scared to start a business and be a leader, or actually start a business and be a nurse. I felt that that stigma was still there, as like I had to be in hospital. And that stigma actually stayed with me through senior leadership.
Truthfully, the biggest obstacle was myself. And that was, really in the beginning, wondering, can I do this? And really delaying everything because I didn't have enough confidence and self-worth to think that I could go out and make a change.
That said, Harris and Body believe the nursing profession fosters skills that translate to success in business.
So I highly recommend that nurses take that nursing knowledge and become entrepreneurs if that's what they want to do. That is a great benefit of being a nurse, is that we own our knowledge, and knowledge stays with the nurse, it doesn't go away. And so to flip that education into a business is really easy, and I totally recommend doing something like that. Still today, again, I'll speak to my certifications and my nursing knowledge. It helps me. And consulting, on the legal side of things, it helps me in expert nurse witness, and it just keeps building and building and, like just rolling and rolling and rolling into something bigger and better from my nursing knowledge.
Truthfully, nurses are well equipped to be entrepreneurs. We have an incredible skill set, and we don't realize that everything we do is completely transferable to entrepreneurship, whether it's delegating, putting teams of people together, being super resourceful when you have no resources. And I mean, people ask me all the time, like, what's your worst day look like? And I worked through COVID, and there is not a single day that I've ever worked as an entrepreneur that will ever be anywhere near that. So for any nurse who's worked through COVID, you have the resilience you need to do anything.
In the end, success for nursepreneurs is possible. Just do it.
The most important piece of advice that I can give them is to, number one, realize that they are worthy. They are worthy of going out and doing something. And then secondly, going out and networking and putting yourself around people who can help propel you forward. That's pretty much what I did to start with. Like, I started networking with people in the business community and learning more. And when you start to tell people, hey, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, they're going to start to open doors for you. But no one is going to open doors unless you're brave enough to go out and say that this is what I want to do. So the networking is really important.
Harris agrees.
Your network is your network. No matter where you are, bedside to the boardroom, you need to have a network of peers, supporters, mentors on all different levels. On all different levels, your network is it. That's what I would tell any nurse who's thinking about stepping out in entrepreneurship. Your network is your net worth.